Welcome to another episode of Open Studio. I know lately I've been talking a lot about Twitter and all the happenings there and the drama, but I don't want to do that anymore. What I did want to do today is talk about this. This is a Mamiya C330F. I picked this camera up a couple days ago. A really great deal on it. It has some frame spacing issues, it seems. I put a roll through it to see what I'm kind of working with. But this is kind of something that I've wanted to explore for a while, and I'm really excited that I actually get to shoot one. Finally, this is actually the first time I've ever had one or been able to shoot one. This one came with the 65mm lens, which is the one that is the most similar to the lens I have on my RB67, which is also a 65 6x6, so the field of view is a little bit different. I think this is a little bit narrower of a point of view. You guys know by now I'm a huge Mamiya fanboy. My RB67 is always over my shoulder here. I've owned, I think, 7 RB67s since I started shooting film, which is a lot. I sold most of them, and it was mostly buying one, then selling it, then buying one, selling it, buying one, selling it. At one point I owned 4. I have 2 now. One of them belongs to my girlfriend. Ever since sending my Rolly out to get fixed, I've been really missing having a TLR and really missing that experience. So when I had the opportunity to get this for almost nothing, even though it does have a couple issues with it, I jumped at the chance knowing that even if I had to do something to get this fixed, it would still be worth it, because I've really been hoping to pick one of these up at some point. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've only, like I said, shot a couple of test rolls through it, so I'm still very much getting used to it. I will say that all of the talk online about how heavy these are seems a little overblown. You know, with the lens and everything attached to it, everything kind of kitted out, it's not much heavier than my Rolleiflex. It is quite a bit bigger and a little bit chunkier than my Rolleiflex, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was only like maybe 100 grams heavier, which I don't mind at all. This is definitely not the right strap for it. I just had this one lying around, so I threw it on. Yeah, I find this much more comfortable to carry around than the RB67. The RB67 is much, much heavier than this. But shooting this, I get very similar kind of a feel that I do for shooting the RB67. The focusing with the bellows is very similar. You still have 2 focusing knobs on each side. It's just a really interesting, well thought out, pretty cool design, and I can't wait to shoot some more with it. The cool thing about this camera is that it usually came standard with an 80mm 2.8, which is a very fast lens for medium format, and they're relatively inexpensive. You can get them for around $100 or a little bit more all the time. So while I do have the 3.5 65mm on here now, I am looking forward to picking up the 80mm. I haven't really been buying or selling cameras a lot lately. I've been holding on to what I have, and I haven't really been interested in anything else. I do have other news that I can't share with you yet, no matter how much I want to. It's a little bit too soon. If you are in the Discord, you already know what's going on, but there is some cool stuff happening in the next month. I'll be announcing kind of a new series that I'm doing here, and then the news that will be coming with that series is pretty big too. So make sure you guys come back to check in on that stuff. I will be talking about it as soon as I can. I promise. It will be worth the wait. I'm very excited about it. I'm very scared and very excited about it at the same time. All right, camera stuff out of the way. I asked on my Instagram if you guys had any questions for me, and you always do. It's my favorite thing about doing this. I got a good amount of questions this time. Some are silly, some are real, but I'm going to tackle them all as quickly as I can. Here we go. I am Mark Daniel asks, what are your thoughts on the rise of film, but seeing labs still close? I don't know. I haven't really been following labs that are closing. If anything, it feels like labs are opening more each day. I think that the big thing we need to realize with film prices going up and what's going on with film is that we need to have a robust infrastructure to support film in order for film prices to come down or to at least even out. So it's important that we have 1, good film labs, and 2, that people continue to open and run good film labs that are anchored in the community, because without that important part of the system, it won't be you can't be sustained very long. So I hope that that's not the case. I hope that we're not losing film labs, but hopefully we will have more film labs, even more going into the 2023 and 2024. Our friend Rich, Mr. Anthropology, why can't I send you a song this time? Last video, Rich sent me a song. I don't know. I didn't change anything, so I don't know what happened. Maybe Instagram changed something. Sorry, I don't know. K Gold Dust Woman, how many times did you have to take this photo for it to be the one? I think she's referring to the photo in my story that I posted. I'll post it really quick. I didn't take that photo at all. It's actually a still from the last video, so I just went in and grabbed that still and exported it. So 0 times actually. Smart ass. Sour Cream US, my girlfriend Jackie. What happened to hashtag shoot film stay broke? What happened was everyone ended up actually broke, and then you can't buy any more film. So that's what happened. The Film Fellow asks, favorite current film body and why? I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard question. I might go with the RB67, which it's been my favorite for a long time because it's so modular. It's so versatile. I've been using it for so long. I know it back and forth. I have all these accessories for it. I have motorized backs for both of them now, so they kind of work almost like an RZ67. So I'd say the RB. That's a safe answer. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer for you. Lurk 666 asked, still want to know when you're going to use a Ricoh MFer. I said in my last video, as soon as I get a viewfinder for it, I want to go out and play with it, but I don't like not having a viewfinder. So that's your answer. You also ask, also your current favorite 400 speed film and why. My current actual favorite 400 speed film, actually current, I mean, would be Cinestill 400D. For 2 reasons. One, because I think it's really cool and has a lot of flexibility and people are not using it correctly and are getting bad results from it and getting mad about it. So that's one reason. And 2, because all of the people who are complaining about it, I'm convinced are bad at photography and it makes me feel superior. That's a joke answer. Don't quote me. You then said XOXO. Right back at you. Raymond Pembroke. If you could have a 20mm or 200mm as your only lens, which are you choosing? 20mm all the way. All the way. I can crop in and like, but I don't want to always be having to stand far enough away to make a 200mm lens useful. I don't even have any real telephoto lenses that I use normally other than the 105 on my Nikon, and that's it. That's kind of it. So I'm not really a telephoto guy. I never really have been. So easy answer, 20mm. Omid K asks, what is time? Omid, time is a flat circle. Some Rising Sun asked, is cereal soup? Yes, yes it is. Owen Steven asks, favorite place in the East Bay to take photos? Good question. There are a lot of places in the East Bay I like taking photos. Oakland just has this variety and diversity that you can't really beat. And so there's a lot of places in Oakland that are really fun to shoot. I lived there for a lot of my life, so that's kind of a easy answer. And then Seiji asks, when you shoot 220, do you feel like you're better than everyone? I never feel like I'm better than anyone, despite what jokes I might make. 220 is actually a pain in the ass to shoot. One, because most of the 220 that I have or I've come across is expired, so I have to expose it and properly, and then I have to like in post clean it up because the edges usually have some fogging or light leaks. So it actually takes a fair bit of maintenance and care to shoot 220. One of the things I like about 120 film is they're not committing to a full roll of 35mm film, because sometimes committing to that many frames when you're just shooting casually is kind of a pain, and you feel like you have to kind of dump like 5 or 6 frames at the end just to get through the roll. And then with 120, if I end up shooting 220, that's like shooting a 24 exposure roll of medium format film, which sometimes is really cool, sometimes it's great, but sometimes it's also a pain in the ass. I do have a fair bit of frozen 220 that I'm excited to shoot through, kind of. But yeah, no, I don't get a superiority complex from shooting 220. If anything, I feel like an idiot when I'm shooting it sometimes. All right, that is it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, a lot of news coming up, so make sure you stay on this channel. Keep an eye on this channel for that stuff. It concerns all of you film photographers. So if you are here and not subscribed, hi, welcome. Cool stuff in the film world is coming from this channel, so you should stick around. If you want to support this channel is completely supported by my Patreon page. If you want to be a supporter, you can choose whatever level of support you want to give, and every level gets the same amount of access to everything, so there's no feeling like you need to spend more money to get more. You just decide what you want to contribute to make this channel work, and any amount is fantastic and I will love you for it. So check out the Patreon page, it's in the description. It also allows you access to the Discord, which is probably the best part of the Patreon and a great resource with a bunch of really talented, really awesome people, photographers who are in there every day being crazy. And it oftentimes feels like I'm running a daycare. And oftentimes it feels like I'm in a daycare as a baby and there's no one in charge. So it's a good time and you should sign up. Do it in the description. Do it. Thanks again. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day.